Hello, everyone. This is new podcast episode of Reddit. Actually, this is the first podcast episode of Reddit. So, most of you are already know am I the asshole in the story forums in the Reddit app. So we choose to choose some of the stories just to judge them.
Okay, let's go.
You already know who we are, so we pass that part. So we have 3 story topics. So these topics can correlate with the actual story or not. This is probably like the fun of it. So first story is Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Second one is No Car No Gain. And third one is It Ends With Us. So which one do you want to choose?
Okay, let's go with Mamma Mia.
Okay. Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my husband's Italian friend to cook for herself and told her I would not eat her food? My husband's friend flew in from Belgium, Italia a week ago, and as much as I tried, I could not make her happy with any type of home cook or even restaurants in Melbourne. Took her out to restaurants. We wanted to introduce her to the variety of food we have. No sushi, no Thai food, no Chinese, because Italian food is the best. We went out for Italians 3 days in a row. She complained about pasta, about cheese, anything is just not as good as in Italy. She complained about the wine not tasty enough. She got mad when I dared to order a cappuccino at 4 p.m. because we don't drink cappuccino after 12 p.m. I was just like, yeah, I drink what the hell I want at the time I want. Coffee was either too burn or hot enough. We went to Claus, which is chain stores, supermarkets, to do some shopping. Straight away complained about no authentic Italian pastas, and in the middle of the aisle decided to teach me how properly say the name of each pasta. We decided to cook at home today. Mind you, I am Asian, I love my spices, and I love flavorful dishes. I decided to cook what I know best. Did not think it would be a bad idea. She came and the first thing she said was, "Your house smells bad," because of the fish sauce. And she proceeded to ignore my dish and asked my husband to take her out for some lasagna. When she got back, she told me I should learn how to cook Italian dishes because it is not good for my husband to always eat fusion food. Online recipes are just stupid for straying away from the root. I was so mad and did not mince words. I told her how arrogant to think Italian food are best. Told her Italian are not the best and we would not take her out for any Italian meals. She could go shopping for herself, cook it, and enjoy it alone. Sorry, but the ingredients would not be as good as in Italy. But she was in another country. Be grateful for what she could find. She cried and decided to leave early. My husband tried to tell me that she is set in her way. She does not travel that much all her life. 60 years. This is the second time she travels out of the country. The last time was to Germany, and it was well over 25 years ago. He told me maybe I should just say sorry to her, just to smoother the situation. I refused. Told him if she cannot live without her Italian heritage for just a few weeks, there is no point for me to convince her like me anyway. So am I the asshole in the story?
Oh, wow. Okay, first of all, this is a messy, but honestly, I don't think she's the asshole. Like,
very
I get
cool.
it. The Italian friend has her habits and probably misses home, but being a guest doesn't mean you get to insult your host culture, food, and home. That's just basic respect, you know.
Yeah,
And honestly, if you can't adopt even a little bit when you are in someone else's country, maybe you shouldn't be traveling, you know.
and plus, if you're a guest in a home of a friend, you just eat what you find, not what you want. Okay?
Exactly.
So she didn't. I think she didn't even like try the food like the wife made. Like the friend didn't even try the food.
Yes.
It's so bad. Like
So
how much Asian foods are so
he just
tasty.
complaining and yes, ignore the
Yeah,
food, the culture, everything. And I think there is a difference between being unfamiliar with new cultures and being flat out rude about them. Even if you are not used to traveling, you can still say no, thank you politely instead of criticizing everything, you know.
exactly. And the only thing that she should be like worried about is her age.
Yes.
She's 60 years old. Um, there are better ways to live your life when you're 60 years old. Maybe eat that Asian food that you never had ate or had a chance to like try it.
Yes, exactly. And she was defending her culture, her food, and her home. The Italian lady was the one being ungrateful and offensive. Honestly, if someone treated me like that in my own house, I do the same way, you know.
Exactly. You like go out, stop it, get some help. And like I'm just about the judging part of am I the asshole? I don't believe she is the
Yes,
asshole. I
exactly.
believe the friend is like an asshole, like 5 out of 10 asshole, not completely asshole. Like it's okay, you're 60, you can do this much
Yes,
thing.
the Italian friend is the real problem. She
Yeah,
was intensive and rude and ungrateful. I think the woman in the history had every right to speak up, you know.
and the audacity that she had, like imagine you're my friend, right? Like you have a husband or anything. We're not telling about that. And I'm telling them like I don't like the food your wife makes. Like bring me to a restaurant. What the fuck do
What
you
the fuck do you
mean?
mean?
What is this complaint and complex like relationship between the friend and a husband?
Just fuck off.
So I'm gonna give husband a 2 out of 10 asshole.
Yes, and also it's not like she forced her to eat something she didn't like. She just didn't deserve it to be disrespected to for making the food she loves. The guest could have just cooked for herself without making rude comments, you know.
Exactly, like this was crazy a bit. Girl, if someone was giving me free like Asian food, I would be like, yeah, you're my best friend now. So this was a judgment for the first story. We're going to the second story. It ends with us or no car, no game.
I think let's read No Car No Game.
Okay, no car, no game is crazy, my Diane. Am I the asshole for telling my ex and his wife that she was the one who was nobody special or important after all? My ex and I broke up 20 years ago when our kids were 3 and 1. Our reason was he made a financially reckless decision buying a very fancy car that we could not afford that he took out of debt to buy. That put the financial security of our family at risk without telling me, and then she blew up at me for not supporting his decision and wanting him to sell it and pay off the money he borrowed to get it. He told me a real wife would have supported him and fuck me for wanting to take away something so special. After our divorce, he had to sell the car anyway. and he blamed me for it. He was nasty to me in every situation after that, as long as our kids weren't present. He remarried about 2 years after our divorce. He and his wife told me she was the kids' new mom, and she would be just as important, if not more so, than me. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I think I read this story about 3 times in a row, and still this is so crazy to
Yes,
me.
yes.
This line is so crazy to me. Anyway, more than once they told me I was nobody special or important, and the kids would have a much better relationship with the new wife. I had to bite my tongue around the kids whenever my ex's wife would be all over them. I hated the two of them. This stuff was never said or done in front of our kids, and I would walk away, but they carried on speaking, and they would approach me everywhere, anywhere, to any time, as long as the kids weren't there to try and claim that I was going to lose my kids to them. The kids ended up hating her and their dad after a while, though, and I was never very sad about that. I think they were always going to have to dislike or pull away from me or him. Because my ex and his wife would never have accepted both. They always believed she would come out on top over me and would be the favorite mom, and that I would be called my kid's birth mother. Girl, birth mothers. Oh my god. When the kids were in their mid-teens, they asked a judge to let them live with me full time, and that was granted. They had calls and some non-overnight visitations with their dad that they hated, and now both of them are in college and in their 20s, and they have been no contact with both of for a couple of years. I was recently at the opening of a new restaurant in town when my ex and his wife confronted me over the state of their relationship with the kids. Before they could get too nasty to me again, I smiled and told them that it was not my fault they destroyed their relationship with the kids, and they were wrong about the outcome. Then I decided to be a little petty, and that I guess she was the one who was nobody special or important after all, because the kids certainly never called her their mom. I know that. I know what I said was petty, and that it was rubbing it in. Maybe it makes me as bad as them, or maybe not, but it felt good after years of putting up with so much from them. Does it make me an asshole?
Okay, this is intense. To be honest, she's not the asshole, not even close. First of all, they were the ones who start this whole competition over who's the real mom. They were cruel, manipulated, and disrespectful for years, right? Like, who tells a mom that she's gonna be replaced? That's so nasty. Exactly, and it wasn't just once. It sounds like they keep harassing her for years. So yeah, what she said at the end, it was pretty sure, but honestly, she earned it. It's like emotional self-defense after 20 years of being insulted. Sometimes you just gotta say something back.
Yeah, like uh, the person who was telling the story, she was a fairy. Anyway, like she was really nice, even though when like the last thing that she said, it wasn't really bad thing to say. And about the ex's new wife, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of gossip. First of all, what did you do to a 6 and 7-year-old child for not telling you mom?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do that they don't even want to
Exactly.
call you a mom?
The important key is here. The kids made their own choice. You can't force love. It says a lot that they event no contact with both their dad and stepmom. That's not something you can fake.
Girl, on the dialogue, you can force love. I just faded away in my life. So I'm gonna give the husband a whole poop
Yes, yes.
out of ass.
Yes.
The wife also is the new wife also is the poop out of ass. But like the person who was telling this story is actually she's the fairy anyway.
Yes.
And about the first story, like beginning of the story. Dude, you're a fucking dude.
Yes.
Okay, and you have so much money. And you don't even have that so much money and you're borrowing from people and going to just buy a car.
I guess you burn all the money for a lot
Exactly.
of things, you know.
I mean, like, you can use it for the best of them. We already know how much it, like, really cost, like a car. So why did you, like, decide to spend it on a car?
When you
I don't
have a
understand.
family, you have to think everything, you know,
Exactly.
and prioritize everything.
Maybe,
on top of
like,
that
yeah,
family.
maybe you could, like, make a little company, like, maybe a little, like, industry. But at least, you're gonna have much more money than this you have.
Shit everything.
Shit everything.
Maybe the old wife was a little sharp, but sometimes people need to hear the truth. I think it was less about being mean and more about finally standing up for herself after years of being silenced. Would I have said it? Maybe or maybe not, but I can't blame her one bit, you know.
I mean, like, I'm probably understanding her. If I was her, I would be like, okay, shut up, motherfucker, and I would, like, maybe kick their ass, okay?
Yes, the ex and the stepmom were the real toxic people here. She simply reminded them of the reality they created, you know.
Exactly. Like, even she, like, the new wife, being the stepmom, is not attracting me anymore. Because, I'm a little bit, under, like, oh, stepmom, oh my god, did you lost baby girl on this type of shit?
Okay,
And
shit.
she didn't even attract me. I'm not even possible. Anyway, so we wrap up the story with 2 poop out of ass and 1 fairy.
Okay.
So the final story is it ends with us. AITAH, or am I the asshole for choosing to go to my grandfather's funeral over my unborn daughter's 20-week ultrasound? My wife, female 25, and I, male 26, are expecting a baby girl due in November. We are both so excited for it. I've been talking to her through my wife's belly, being excited, feeling the kicks, all of the fun stuff. 3 weeks ago, we scheduled the 20-week ultrasound. The last week, my grandfather's health's been slowly diminishing. I had a talk with my father and family, and were told that something within a week of his passing, we would have the funeral. This made my wife and I have to talk about the plan. She said she would want to stay home with the dogs so we didn't have to board them, and that I could go by myself to the 5-hour trip up north to my father's hometown. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away late last night, early this morning. I called my father to make sure he was okay, which he was holding on as much as one would when your father passes away, but I was told the funeral would be held at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. This just so happens to be the exact same day that my wife has the ultrasound. My wife is now upset. that I plan to go to my grandfather's funeral instead of go to the ultrasound appointment. I said, well, we could FaceTime, but it's my father. I know FaceTime isn't the same, but she said, yeah, but this is your daughter. Now she is mad and upset at me. I'm emotionally torn from this because I'm so excited for my baby girl, but also really sad about my grandfather. I want to know if I'm asshole here.
Oh wow, that's honestly heartbreaking on both sides, you know. But
Exactly.
you know what? I really don't think he is the asshole. Losing a grandparent is huge, especially when you are asked to be a pallbearer. That's family. That's saying goodbye to someone who shaped your life, and it's not something you can reschedule.
Exactly.
And totally, I think both feelings are valid here. The wife is probably feeling extra emotional because of pregnancy, hormones, stress, and excitement about the baby. I get why she'd be disappointed, but at the same time, he is grieving and trying to honor his grandfather's life. And you know, I don't think he's the asshole.
Exactly. His and his grandfather's relationship seems to be really nice. So like, if it wasn't nice, maybe he wouldn't even want to go there. Okay.
Yes.
So the thing I want to tell on the first beginning of the story. What do you mean? You are my wife and you're not coming with me to my grandfather's funeral that you know had a special place in my mind? Like, what? I get it. Like, pregnancy is probably like 100 times worse than like periods. I understand
Yes,
that maybe a little bit. But it is not like on the end of the pregnancy or maybe on the middle of the pregnancy that I guess that period of time is a little bit more harsh, a little bit harder to handle. Maybe you could just go with it.
yeah, you know, FaceTime isn't perfect, but it's something. Also, let's be real. There will be many more ultrasounds and memories with the baby, but you only get
Exactly.
one chance to say goodbye to someone you love.
Exactly.
And let's not forget, this baby isn't even born yet. The real fatherhood moments, holding the baby, first steps, first words, that's all still ahead. But his grandfather is gone forever.
Oh my god, with your dialogue that went like this baby doesn't even exist. Like, the people who are against abortion is crazy now. They're all like, what do you mean? That's a baby. Oh my god.
It's drama queen. Yay.
Girl, calm down. I'm sure, like, you know, when you go to understand the gender of your baby, like, they are like saying that they are writing on a paper and give it to you, and you go to the places that set a party for that, like, you know. So maybe you could ask them to like record the sound of the heartbeat without you listening to it, and it would bring it to him like, oh yeah, like listen to it, like yeah, this is her heartbeat or so. This is crazy a
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
And like on the second part that she started to be like, yeah, what do you mean you don't want to come to your baby's ultrasound? Girl, maybe like just understand a bit.
Yes.
You're reminding me of someone. Who could it be? Anyway, like this is a little bit like how can I say it? A little bit so much. Like, go with him.
You know, I wouldn't said unreasonable, just hurt, emotional, and probably scared. Pregnancy is vulnerable
Yeah,
time. She might be thinking, if you are not here for this, what else might you miss? It's
exactly.
not really about the ultrasound itself. It's about wanting to feel supported and priorities, and but I do think with a claim conversation they can understand each other better, you know.
Yeah. So for the judgment of the story, I would like give the father 0 out of 10 assholes. I'm gonna give the mother maybe 3 out of 10
Yeah,
asshole.
in
It's
this story,
yeah,
no one's that the bad guy, nobody the
yeah,
asshole. This is
like
just a clash of two very real emotional
yeah.
needs,
This is
grief
just
and
like
new life, both matter.
exactly. This is
I
just coincidence. Like
yes,
this stuff happens a
yes,
bit.
yes.
If especially
Especially in real life.
yeah, especially on the real
I would
situations.
say he should go to funeral, but make sure to his wife that he's all in for this baby. Maybe plan something special together when he gets back.
Yeah, that could be good. Could be good.
Yes.
And also, I would like to open a section after your like last yeah, on the last part you said. Why always guys should set a thing like set a special? Maybe wife could that too do that too.
Maybe, you know, in real life, both sides have to plan something.
Yeah, like I am expecting both of them to do
Yes.
something in this like coincidence that is
Yes,
happening.
yes.
I don't want to call it a problem. I don't think it's a problem. Anyway, this was like our first episode of Reddit. We would be really happy if you like recommend
Yes,
anything,
really
say
happy.
something less, more. Thank you for listening to
Thank
us.
you very much for listening.
Yeah, this episode was my hosting time, but next ones would be my friends' episode.
Yeah.
So let's be tuned for the next week. We're gonna have 2 new episodes too. One is Reddit, AITAH,
We
and
are ready to cook.
yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, thank you
Thank you
and
very much.
goodbye.
Goodbye.